Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast where three lifelong friends gather to talk about video games. I'm Holden. That's Chad.
Michael Linus.
And you're you, and that's why we love you. By the way, I'm also Holden DePardo at Holden DePardo, and that's Chad at Chad Michael Innes, because you always want me to do that, and I always forget to do that. And you didn't have to tell me this time. I remembered.
You did not remember. I had to provide the last name.
But I remember the Twitter handles. We're also at Respawn Aim Fire on Twitter.com and Respawn Aim Fire at gmail.com.
Woo!
Boom.
Heads up.
Boom.
I am eating some chicken on air. I don't give a fuck, y'all. You see those Apple
like
ASMR ads that they put out? Where they're just like a picture of a forest shot on iPhone. It's like, crackly wood. Everybody fucking loves fire. And it's just them whispering shit in your ears while you look at beautiful cinematography.
No, but I did watch the trailer for the morning show, which actually looks really good.
Oh, I haven't seen the actual trailer. I saw the teaser they released last week.
Trailer released today. It looks good. Looks really good.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Who's excited? You are, and hashtag me too. Get it? Topical, because that's what the show's about.
So we are going to be talking about Gamescom, the live event hosted by Jeff Keighley, Insider Xbox, Stadia Connect, and Nintendo Indie World. There's just a lot to talk about.
Gamescom.
I said Gamescom.
I think you said con. Like Cobra Con.
No, I said Gamescom. No, I didn't.
Is
I mean,
Cobra
maybe
Con
I
a
did,
thing?
but I didn't mean to.
Cobra Kai. That's a thing from
Cobra
Karate
Kai.
Kid.
That's a thing.
What is Cobra Con?
But maybe one day Cobra Kai becomes such a big TV show, they have a Cobra Con. It's like celebrate that show. It's totally possible.
Cobra Con.
You looking it up?
Is a fictional character of the popular Masters of the Universe toy line. It's a fucking...
Ooh, my favorite toy line.
Look at this. It's a jacked out lizard with a laser gun.
That's He-Man, isn't it? Masters of the Universe? I think it's He-Man.
If it was He-Man, they would have called it He-Man.
No, I'm pretty sure He-Man's part of the Masters of the Universe.
Well, then why did he get a whole show called He-Man and not Master of the Universe, He-Man?
Why do the Avengers have their own individual comics? The world may never know. But the world will get a new Metro game, going to our third-party quest log. Dmitry Klukovsky is working on a sequel to Metro Exodus. This comes from James Conner at GameSpot. Basically, he's not writing any more books, but he's still working on the video game series and the story for the series. And I'm really excited for that.
I'm not usually a fan of this phrase, but nobody wants this.
I want this.
I'm just kidding. I don't want this at all.
I want this.
But you do. And I'm happy for you.
A lot of people do. It was a very well-reviewed game. It sold very, very well, despite being an Epic Game Store exclusive, and I think this is a big deal. It's not, I actually wasn't certain, because they only had 3 books in the series. So, and I knew, but I guess we knew that there was going to be more games in the series. I didn't know that Dmitry Klukovsky was going to be working on it.
Well, there were only 7 Harry Potter books, but there were 8 movies. There was only 1 Hobbit book, but there were 3 movies.
Thank God they made 3 Hobbit movies.
Thank all the gods.
God.
Thank mostly Cobra Con.
And and there were no Dead Island books, but there's also going to be a Dead Island 2.
Oh.
Moving on to THQ Nordic, because they announced a bunch of new stuff.
THQ Nordic was doing all sorts of shit this week.
Yeah, they are. So they have a new Saints Row game is deep in development, is what they said, which to me means it's either going to be coming out next year or it's a next-gen game.
No.
And it's coming out pretty soon.
No. It's wordplay. You know, they were famous for having the big, giant purple dildo as a weapon in one of their games. Deep in development means regular development, but like deep in your butthole.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that makes sense. I'm sure they did that for a stockholders event thing, or bobber, whatever I'm saying. Dead Island 2 development. This is, I guess, not really great news in my opinion. So Dead Island development has been handed over to Dam Buster Studios. This is the 3rd developer of the game. In 2016, it transferred over to Sumo Digital from Jaeger Development. Usually when games get handed off to that many different studios, not a terribly great sign.
Here's the thing, too, is that we don't know what handed off means. We don't know whether one studio just got burnt out. We don't know whether assets are coming over, whether they're starting from scratch.
No, that's true. Like, you could say Breath of the Wild development was handed over to Monolith Software, but actually they just handled certain aspects of the game. They didn't take over the entire development of it. That's a good point, Chad. You're so smart.
I'm
That
so
chicken's
smart.
like brain food. It's just
Dude.
like
I got home at 7:51. That lift was incredibly accurate. 7:51, walked in the door, walked straight to the kitchen, threw some spinach on a plate, got some pre-cooked chicken because I meal prepped, threw that on the plate, put some shredded cheese on top, scored some ranch dressing, walked straight in here and started eating while I sat up.
boom.
That is how you maintain a healthy diet in a busy schedule.
Chad handed over the development of his salad to himself to eat the salad.
Fuck
And
yeah,
it sounds
me.
delicious.
Good
And it turned out
job.
well, so maybe Dead Island 2 will turn out well. We don't know. But usually this isn't a great sign. Usually.
Usually.
Last year, Deep Silver bought the rights to Time Splitters and had recently hired the series creator Steve Ellis to, quote, help plot the future for the franchise. Did you ever play Time Splitters? This is kind of a... You played both of them?
I played Time Splitters 2.
Okay.
This is a real fun couch co-op multiplayer game. And it is one of my favorite
It
things.
was a GameCube exclusive, wasn't it?
No.
No?
I
Was
played
it
it on
everything?
Xbox.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was an exclusive for GameCube.
Probably because you hate life. But
That's what it is. Yep.
no, there's this really fun monkey mode where people are monkeys and they're rabid and you have to kill the monkey and then everyone's monkeys and their brains explode. I don't remember. Something like that. Anyway, it was a real fun couch co-op game. I don't know if I would ever be able to... Maybe we'd play it on like a fun game night with the community, with all of our lifelong friends out there. But it's not a kind of game that I'm like going, give me more Time Splitters. It was like, yeah, me and my brother had fun with that for a couple of days.
I've known a few people who really liked the game a lot.
People who like it love it.
Mm-hmm. Except for you.
Except for me. I was like, I like it. People who like it like it.
Yeah.
That's the deepest statement anyone's ever said. That's deeper than Saints Row.
THQ had one more big announcement this week, and that's that they purchased Gunfire Games, who's the team behind Darksiders 3. They're basically just blowing up, basically. They're just expanding like crazy, I feel like.
And they've already, they've been publishing Darksiders.
Yes,
right?
They've been publishing it.
And now they bought the studio. Similar to, I noticed you didn't have this in there, similar to what happened with Insomniac today in PlayStation. How
I did put this in here. It's in the Sony area.
No, the Sony area just has something else.
Oh, shit. Well, we'll talk about that.
But yeah.
I have it in Instapaper. I forgot to put it over.
You dumb bitch! You're a stupid bitch! All right, everyone, I'm done eating and drinking. I'm not done drinking. I'm done eating. But, yeah,
no more water for Chad at all.
I mean, I guess it's just yet another IP that they now have under their wing. Along with the other 90,000 things. I'm just ready to see something from them. Where's Biomutant? What is Biomutant?
Biomutant actually looks kind of cool, but
where's
that's for another
Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning? Where's that remaster? Yo quiero.
Speaking of games to play, Chad, what have you been playing this week?
Let me tell you.
That was loud.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, the waveform on my recording didn't spike that much, so I guess you're a liar. Not only are you a stupid bitch, but you're also a fucking liar.
It's me confusing. It's also me confusing volume and pitch again.
I played 3 things. All 3 things I've played before, so I won't spend much time. Doom was one of them. It's our birth game this month. Backlog accomplishments with Respawn and friends. Speaking of, we are currently in a 3-way tie for next month's game. We need the remaining 3 patrons to vote, or we need the rest of you guys to become patrons on patreon.com/respawnnameFire before Sunday to vote and break the tie and let us know what
are those
game
3
we're
games
gonna
that are tied?
The Final Fantasy IX, Nier Automata, and Batman the Telltale series Season 1.
Yes.
We need you all to vote. You cannot influence the vote. You already influenced it enough by voting.
Our Patreon account had one vote, and I'm like, fuck it. Chad chose all of them. I'm choosing one of them because I really don't want to play one in particular. I won't influence the vote more and say which one that game is, but I will say
Dragon's
don't vote
Dogma.
for it.
No one's voted for Dragon's Dogma. So
that's
Doom.
not what I'm referring to, though.
Doom. I'm about halfway through the campaign of it. We will be chatting about that next week? Sometime. Look out!
Next week? That soon? I guess so. Yeah.
Today's the 19th?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, it's next week. You fucking idiot! I love you so much. I'm so sorry that I'm calling you a stupid bitch.
It wouldn't be next week because 19 plus 7 does not equal 31.
That's
see.
the
31's on Saturday, so yeah, we very well
it's
can talk
next
about next
week.
week.
You stupid fucking whore. Holden, God, I love you so much.
That's what makes someone a whore, is if they can't count. That's what it is. In some ways, it's true.
Apex Legends. We pulled that out of our assholes for game night. I had a lot of fun playing it this time. Knew a little bit more of the mechanics now that I had played Titanfall. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure how much I enjoyed us playing separate games all on the same chat, though.
I was just going to say that, yeah. And I was thinking, too, like, I wouldn't mind playing it again for game night, but then I also wouldn't want to split up the party so we have two different parties, because sometimes we'd go back and forth between playing with different people, and now we get kind of messy.
Speaking of game night, we are playing Friday the 13th, the game on PS4. Everyone who has PS Plus should have that in their library. Play with us. That's tonight, if you're listening to this on day one. If you're not, what the fuck else are you doing? You don't have a job. We all know you're homeless. How do you afford your phone?
I need to download that.
Yeah, download it now. Don't make a mistake. That's going to be fun. And then I played Metroid Samus Returns, and I might be done with it.
Okay.
I'm maybe like 3-4 hours in, and I am enjoying the exploration, but I'm not enjoying the fact that there are 40... The game is just, so far, from what I know, 40 mini-bosses, and they're all exactly the same. They all do the same moves. They all go across the screen, and you have to jump over them, and they go and you have to block them.
They definitely don't.
Poop, and they poop a little electric on the goddamn, and then the goddamn goes bzz, and you go, I gotta jump. But so far,
I want to say there's four forms of that, and they are basically all growing into bigger versions.
I fought,
so it's not all the same boss.
I fought 10 of them, and they're
same.
all exactly the same, with slightly different rooms that they're in.
I've beaten the game. They're not all the same.
But hold it. It's
bosses.
too late.
And
they've already lost me. It's too late to apologize. They've already lost me by making 10 in a row exactly the same without anything else to break it up. I don't want to play the rest of the game.
I'm just telling you, your complaint is they all are the same. I'm telling you, well, pretty soon they're not going to be the same, and you're like, well, they are the same. So
yeah, but that's like saying, hey, listen, the first 50 years of your life really fucking suck, but when you're too old to do anything, that's when it gets real great. Great, I don't want to live that life. Fucking shoot me in the head right now.
That's not equivalent at all.
That's
because
exactly
in Metroid games, you get better as you go along, whereas you get old, you get worse.
You gain more knowledge, you stupid bitch.
I'm talking health-wise, you get worse.
You don't get worse as you get... Maybe you started really fat and diabetes-ridden when you were young, and then you get your act together in your mid-40s, and then by the time you're 60, you're in the best shape of your life.
In that case, my life will get better, yes.
Do you have diabetes? Don't out yourself on this.
No, I don't have diabetes. I don't have diabetes.
Okay,
no.
Show me the health app in your phone.
I'm surprised I don't,
to
be frank, though.
That's it. That's what I played. That's all I played.
I played the same games outside of Metroid Samus Returns. I did not play that this week, at least. I did play Doom and Apex Legends. I agree with Chad. Really good game. More fun when you have played Titanfall 2, I think. Except it makes you want to play with mechs.
I definitely missed the Titans.
But yeah, good stuff. I started and beat Monument Valley 2. I thought that I had played this game before, and as I'm playing it, I realized I hadn't played it before.
Really?
And I had a great time with it, just like Monument Valley 1.
Weren't you around when we taught this?
I started playing it, but I never beat it.
Oh.
And now I've beaten it. If I remember, I think it's a lot harder than the first game. There were a few that I had to look a little bit more deeply at the levels and figure out how they operated.
Well, now that you've beat The Witness, you're just so much better at puzzles.
So much better at puzzles.
You've just grown so much as a puzzler.
I didn't beat all the areas in The Witness, though.
Holden.
Yeah. I do want to go back and play the game because I've never gotten a platinum trophy before, and I think I can get a platinum trophy.
You've never gotten a platinum?
Nope, never. Because I don't really have like a desire to get. I don't care. It's
Even
like your whole thing of
you've never played a Telltale game to completion?
No, I really didn't like The Walking Dead. That's the only Telltale game I played. I really didn't. I just don't like that style of game.
That's
Good
what
point.
sex sounds like.
I take back what I just said. So Monument Valley 2, really good game. Can't wait for Monument Valley 3.
What did you play it on?
Whenever that comes out.
A banana phone?
A banana phone. How much could it cost? It's just a banana.
Ring,
$10.
ring, ring. Banana phone. Fucking great. Fucking slip me a salami and tell me I'm a taco.
I played it on my iPhone.
I played it on my iPhone. Monument Valley is iOS exclusive, yeah? It never came to anything else.
Or maybe just Monument Valley 2.
I don't think that's true.
I think it might be. Let me see. Monument Valley.
Okay, do you remember the song "Baby, You're My Angel, You're My Darling Angel" by Shaggy?
Yep.
We sang
I don't know about Shaggy, but yeah, sure.
We sang an a cappella arrangement of that tonight at Google. It was so much fun. Hey, let's get the fuck out of playtime and talk about some quests that we're going fetch with. We're going to throw a frisbee and say, fetch
Actually,
that.
both games are iOS and Android.
Get the fuck out of here. Maybe they were a timed exclusive.
Yeah. That sounds likely.
They were heavily Apple promoted. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Well, they always get the design award by Apple because what other game is as well designed as that game? Honestly, what other game has such as good of level design as Monument Valley? The level design is really fantastic.
Have you played Candy Crush Kingdom Saga? Soda
I
Saga.
take it back.
Soda
You're
Saga.
100% right.
I don't know.
That or Dr. Mario on iPhone. Either one.
Did you ever actually play that?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either. It's on my home screen. So is Sky. Eventually, I'll play Sky.
Yeah, I started playing Sky. Then
you know what I wanted though? I flew to Seattle this week, and I wanted to play Sky. I was like, oh man, I'll play Sky on the flight. Nope, gotta be fucking online.
You'll play Sky in the sky.
Can't do it because you need an online connection.
Just pay for Wi-Fi on the plane. So worth it.
No, it doesn't fucking work at all. Jesus, Michael Christ. Hey! Speaking of Jesus, Michael Christ, I'm sure there's a godlike character in Persona 5 Royal, not Royale.
Yeah,
releasing in the West in spring, and there's a new overview trailer, says Imran Khan from Game Informer. Good for you guys. I'm glad you like that game. Halo Infinite creative director leaves the company, says Jason Schreier at Kotaku. This is a year out from launch with that and Xbox Scarlet, but according to them, it is not going to affect launch of that game at all. So, I don't know what that could mean. He's been with the company a long time, too.
Yeah, but it's more common to see creative directors switch out than it is for like a studio to change, for example.
Yeah.
Like I think like even like Toy Story. This is kind of unrelated, but Toy Story 3, like they changed directors. I think like a year before the movie came out as well, and that turned out perfect.
Did they? Or was it just Toy Story 4
did.
that they changed directors for because one of them was a creep?
John Lasseter. They did for that game one as well. I'd forgotten about that. But Toy Story 3, I remember they did that. And that's because I was super concerned about Toy Story 3 coming out. I'm like, don't do it. Just like I said with Toy Story 4. But Toy Story 3 was brilliant.
So good. Speaking of so
I
good,
will not say
have
the same
you
for Toy Story
seen
4.
the new colors of the DualShock 4 colors coming out from Sony next month? There's electric purple, red camouflage, titanium blue, and rose gold. And twice this week, I'm like, maybe I'll get a new controller. And then I had to say, no! God, no! Because it's, first of all, two things. One, it's the end of a generation.
Exactly.
If I'm going to buy an extra controller, it's not going to fucking work on the next one. Or, in the case of Microsoft, it will work on the next one, is what they've said. But obviously, the next console is going to come with a better controller. So why would I get this one anyway? But
that
then when that comes out,
real nice though.
I know, right? God, can you imagine that Sony electric purple with? No, just kidding. They already have a purple one for it. I was going to say the Fortnite purple, not Fortnite. Was it a Fortnite? Yeah, the Fortnite purple Xbox. Have you seen that thing? It is sex-aholic.
Sure. No, actually, I don't think I have.
It is
Let me look it up
sexy.
right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I always want more colors, but I have 2 black DualShock 4s. I have the 500 million translucent blue DualShock 4. I have the white Xbox One controller, and I have the purple and turquoise Sea of Thieves one, which is actually really cool.
Ooh.
What?
I'm looking at those pictures right now, and that's just roll pretty.
Oh, of that 4? Yeah, you got to show the camera, not the screen. There you go. Yeah,
I know. I showed the screen. Yeah, that was really smart.
Isn't that sex?
There you go. See,
that is sex bomb.
Right, that's basically exactly what I want from a Switch Joy-Con controllers.
You'll never get it.
Or a Pro controller.
You'll never get it.
Why? Why won't they do it?
Because the Pokemon companies, Game Freak, is making a game that nobody cared about when they showed it off called Town, and then they also applied for a trademark for Little Town Hero. Could they be the same game? No one fucking knows, but we can speculate. Probably. Also, did you know, Alto, Balto, Ulta, Ultron, Age of Ultron, Uncle Cracker, did you know that half of the Metroid Prime 3 development team is still at Retro Studios? What?
And the team is a lot smaller than you would think.
Yeah, there are 27 of the original 50 team members working on Prime are still at the company, and all the lead creators are no longer there. Where did they go? Did they get on a roller coaster together at Six Flags and it derailed and they're all dead at the bottom of the pit? Did they fall into the safety net that catches the chain and all, the change and all the cell phones? Nobody can tell you.
It's in the snap.
It's a conspiracy. Six Flags.
It was the snap. I'm telling you, it was the snap.
It's not the snap.
It's the snap.
Not the snap.
27 of the 50. That's just about half. And the lead creators in there, it's the snap.
Do you know what 27 minus 8 is, though? Final Fantasy 8 Remastered is coming really soon. Because 27 minus 8 is
Final Fantasy 8.
$19.99 is the price of Final Fantasy 8 when it comes out on September 3rd.
Well, that's minus 7, not minus 8. It'd be $19 or $18.99.
Nope. First digit is a 19. We always round down in capitalist America. So here we go. September 3rd, coming to everything except for mobile. I'm so conflicted, Holden. I have all the Final Fantasies I have as PS1 classics or the remastered versions on PlayStation because I want the fucking trophies and I want to have all of them in one place. But I also want to play them on the go because that's the perfect place to play a JRPG is in a handheld, laying on the couch, on the shuttle bus, on the plane. That's where I want to play these games. So I don't know whether to get it on Switch and say, fuck trophies, or get it on my PlayStation and say, give me them trophies, but now I gotta sit in front of the TV or remote play via my Vita on a spotty Wi-Fi connection. I don't know what to do!
And this is my answer to this: is trophies are stupid. Just get it on Switch.
Enjoy
the game.
No, I'm not going to get it on Switch just because you said that. You know what else is not going to be on Switch? The new Resident Evil movie. Do you know why? Because it's probably not coming to Hulu, and that's the only streaming service available on Switch, and it is not a real console because of it. So the new Resident Evil movie will feel like classic Resident Evil games, says Dennis Patrick.
That's an old school debate on this podcast.
Oh yeah. Great, fucking great. The guy said a lot of quotes about like, oh yeah, so we're in the development and it's gonna be scary. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. It's just a whole lot of nothing. Great.
He said scary like 3 times. He's like, it's gonna be scary, scary, scary.
They're making a Resident Evil game and they're basing it on making a Resident Evil movie and they're basing it on the Resident Evil game. Surprise! It should be like the games. Get out of my face.
No, but the last movies were not though. That's the big deal.
But your mom.
She has no relevance to Resident
Evil.
Nailed
it. Fucking nailed it. I got you. You got Holden, right. Michael DePardo.
I've been had.
You know, you've been had means you've been, I've caught you red-handed. Like, I've revealed your identity. And
you didn't reveal my identity.
You're trapped.
As not knowing what Resident Evil 7
in the closet.
Or Resident Evil in general, my mom have to do with each other.
Hey,
That's
guess what?
I got had.
Guess what was not announced that Resident Evil's coming to? Stadia. Oh, welcome to our Stadia quest log. Google quest log? Do we call it we go by the platform holder, right?
It's Google. It's Google quest log, yeah.
Google quest log. Maybe you should fucking write it that way in the fucking goddamn
There's a giant header that says quest log, and then underneath it there's another header that says Google.
Oh. Oh,
Your mom.
Calliope
See, I
music.
can get you too.
You've never even met
See
my
how
mom.
you got had right there?
Have you ever met my mom?
Had. No, I haven't.
Have I met your mom on anything but Skype?
No.
And by that, I don't mean that we have private Skype sessions, so I pay her $56 an hour for cams.
You basically just called my mom a webcam.
No!
model.
She helps me with my math homework, and tutors are expensive.
My mom is definitely not helping you with math homework. That's for damn
You know what else she's not helping me with? Setting up my Stadia account. Google Stadia Connect. There was a presentation today, along with several hours of lots of presentations that we're going to go into today, about Google Stadia. And they told us ahead of time, it's all about the games. Games. And that's literally all they talked about. And there are games coming to it. We found that out.
And still have no reason to buy it. Or to use the service, I should say.
Yeah, there was nothing in here that swayed me any direction for or against Stadia from where I already stood before I watched it.
And they showed off some good games. It wasn't like the games were bad. It's just like games I already have access to on PlayStation.
Right.
Don't care. Right. Except for one game. But that game, don't care about it. We'll get into it.
Here's what might be alluring. Destiny 2. Mm-hmm. Destiny 2 keeps... They show off good trailers. And I just like...
Yeah.
They're just like tickling my gooch, my perineum, my taint. The old... If it taints your asshole and it taints your ball sack, it's your taint. And they're just like scratching it, being like, come on back, y'all. Come on back and play this new expansion, Shadowkeep, coming in 2019. Gonna be free for Stadia Pro members.
What does that have to do with Stadia?
It's going to be free with Stadia Pro members if you're a Pro member. Guess how much that costs per month? $10. Guess how much Destiny 2 on PlayStation 4 would cost with Shadowkeep? Probably like $40.
Okay.
Do I pay $10 for 1 month and get Destiny 2 and Shadowkeep on my Mac, I guess? Or do I pay for it, probably not play it at all on PS4? I don't know, Holden. All I'm saying is Destiny 2 does good trailers, and I kind of want to go back to the island, Jack.
We gotta go back.
No
one told Jack they had to go back to the island. Jack said it. You gotta get your history straight, man. They showed up Cyberpunk 2077.
You don't think Kate ever said it?
I actually don't remember.
See, you son of a bitch.
But the classic moment is Jack saying we have
Vlasic pickles. Is it crunchy? No. Is it juicy? No. What is it? A Vlasic pickle.
So they showed off some Cyberpunk 2077 stuff, which is just a giant waste of time. They might as well just said, by the way, guys, it's coming. Instead, they had this stupid little, like, developer interview thing that told us everything we already knew about the game.
I don't know, man. Watching that, I guess I didn't recognize it as recycled content. Because
all recycled content,
watching it, I was like, maybe I was seeing it all in the same place at the same time, like with that juxtaposition. But watching it, I was like, I'm more pumped on this game than I have been. I'm excited to play it. I won't play it on Stadia.
But again, it has nothing to do with Stadia, though. There were some new clips at the end, but there's nothing that was just like that. There's no context to any of it.
I don't care. It looked good. I'm now excited to play it. Wasn't before. Way to go, Google. Way to go, Google. You did it!
They had one exclusive game they showed off, and that was called Orcs Must Die 3. And you fight off giant hordes of orcs. They just made this whole point of there are 500 orcs you're going to fight against. Not like 10 waves of X amount of orcs. It's going to be 500 orcs all at once.
Couldn't have been
Amazing,
possible without
right?
Stadia.
Thanks to the power of the Stadia. And I'm like, next-gen console will be able to do that, no problem. Not a big deal.
Thanks to the power of the cloud with Microsoft xCloud.
Yep. And then, again, they reiterate the whole developer see Stadia as an iPhone-level game changer.
I mean, that's exactly what we said, so.
It's exactly what we said, but now I'm, like, lukewarm in it, and I don't care. I don't get that vibe anymore.
Luke, I am your father. Not a line that's ever said in the movies. But Mortal Kombat 11, they did a little bit of a deep dive with this one. And they are... This is going to be an interesting one that I think is going to be a proving ground for Google Stadia, because it's a fighting game that is entirely based on Twitch movements and no lag, and I'm really interested to see how Mortal Kombat 11 performs on Stadia.
They specifically said in that little preview, we know there's a high expectation for Mortal Kombat, and we think we can hit it on Stadia.
Yeah,
that was bold. That was very, very
You're
bold.
a bold kid, Arnold.
We'll see. You have Super Hot highlighted here.
Super hot. Super hot. Super hot. No, I'm just excited that it's coming to more things.
We'll talk more about that in a bit. I think a much more exciting announcement than this one. Farming Simulator was announced.
Hey! Did you see the little spot during the... we'll talk about this event later, but during the opening night live, they showed the competition, the Farming Simulator competition. It's just a bunch of people in a room with a bunch of computers and then a big screen and people being really intense about farming.
Oh, I thought you meant like a new competitor against Farming Simulator. There's a competition for...
Although I'm sure there is.
God, that's going to be like... How long does it last? An entire harvest? Like what do they do? That's like... Man, he got way more corn in his simulator to harvest
Listen, you cannot make fun of Farming Simulator and then go evangelize Animal Crossing, okay? You cannot do that.
It's not the same.
Animal
Crossing is
Farming Simulator
gamified.
And then Mortgage Simulator. Misery Simulator.
Okay, but here's the difference.
Fucking depression
Animal Crossing is not a
simulator
because it's gamified. Simulator is supposed to be akin to real life. And Animal Crossing is definitely not real life.
I fucking hate it anyway.
Unless you're like on shrooms all the time.
So
and you see animal people everywhere.
So that essentially, it was just Google showing us a bunch of games.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad, okay? It was Google
Barbara
showing
Bush
us a bunch of
whack.
games
I think
that they got
she said
coming.
She said
no,
say no
Whitney
to
Houston said crack is whack.
I can't remember who said crack is whack, actually.
Whitney Houston. I just said that. Whitney Houston said
crack
is whack.
I thought you said who do you think is what I thought you just said.
Whitney Houston. Famous crack addict. Died because of it.
She meant whack in a great sense. Like,
yeah,
dude, crack is
so
whack.
Y'all should try it. No. I don't think that was her that sang that song. I don't know.
I'm sure she did something like that in one of her songs at one point. Who knows?
She was. Anyway, so showed us they've got games, which is it was a concern going into Stadia. Be like, are they gonna have a huge library for me to choose from, or is it just gonna be a couple of AAA hits? But it looks like they've got everything from Farming Simulator to Watch Dogs Legion. Also, I like that in the beginning of it, they're like, hey, we've got everything from blank to blank. And they named 2 Ubisoft games, like because Ubisoft is really great about supporting new platforms.
Okay, I see what you're talking about, though, with like, good thing they have games, but what games do they have that are unique, that are actually appealing looking? Nothing. They have nothing.
That's
still.
A lie.
Let's
that's a lie.
Right now.
They've got Doom Eternal on there. They've got Borderlands 3. They've got Super Hot. They've got Mortal Kombat 11.
No.
They've got
no,
Darksiders
I said that's
Genesis.
not available anywhere else.
That's the thing. They're too new to have exclusives right now, except for Orcs Must Die. But you're not
when Microsoft
right
released,
now.
When Microsoft When Microsoft released the Xbox, they had Halo day one.
Yeah, but you're
no
not
one had heard of it.
When
no
you
one had
buy
heard
Google
of it, but it was
Stadia,
something unique.
When you buy Google Stadia, you're not buying a platform with new exclusive games. You're buying it for the technology to play it
everywhere. They call it a console in the cloud.
But listen,
they're pitching themselves as a new console.
Listen to me.
They need it.
Stop talking! When you buy this console, you're buying it for the convenience and the ability to play it in the cloud. Exclusive games are something that are coming later. So you're paying for the ability to access it anywhere, on your phone, on your TV, on your computer, and pick up one place. You're paying for the new technology and the streaming service.
Right now, you're deciding about where to buy Final Fantasy VIII because of fucking trophies.
Yeah, and they're going to have achievements not at launch, so...
Not at launch, because nothing's coming at launch that's worthwhile. This is going to be a nothing burger when it was released.
A fucking nothing burger. Speaking of nothing burgers, let's move over to Microsoft, who actually had a couple of things, and I guess chicken sandwiches. If nothing burgers are a thing, then chicken sandwiches are great. We're going to move over to the Microsoft Quest log and talk about some stuff.
That Popeye's chicken sandwich looks great.
I didn't know which one. Was it the left one or the right one, a chicken sandwich from Popeyes?
both of them.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
Now
They're
I'm
two
really
different
confused.
kinds.
The one on the left looked way too messy.
The other one on the right that you probably thought was Chick-fil-A sandwich was like a Cajun sauce version.
I'm not interested in that. I don't want either of those now. Get out of my face.
Then just
I wish
ask
there
for
was
a
a
plain
Chick-fil-A
and just get
here.
the pickles on it.
I'm not going to ask for it plain, Holden. What am I, 4 years old? I want a number 7 plain with no bread from Wendy's. It's a home-style filet. No, I don't want that.
That's something you used to order.
Yeah, so we used to order the number 7 plain, and then Morgan, my sister, used to get the number 7 plain with no bun, and then she used to peel the breading off of the chicken and eat just the chicken on the inside. But she didn't want to eat grilled chicken because it tastes different than fried chicken with no breading.
You know, that's a great analogy for what I think Stadia is. It's like you took a chicken sandwich, you took the bread off of it, you took the pickles off of it, you took the breading off the chicken and said, here's your console. I'm like, but I can get Chick-fil-A sandwiches, this delicious-looking Popeye sandwich over here.
God, the nearest Chick-fil-A to me is 23 miles away in Redwood City.
Oh, that's terrible. Want to know what's terrible? Not really terrible, actually. Phil Spencer doesn't think that cloud systems will fully replace traditional consoles just yet. This is a lot of information we basically already knew already. He's kind of already said this. But I thought there were some interesting things, because you look at how he's talking about xCloud versus how Google talks about Stadia, and how they talk about there's no lag, and then he says in here, I don't think anyone should tell you there's no lag.
Yeah.
There's a few things that are interesting. Makes me go either Google's way ahead in their technology than Microsoft is, or Phil Spencer's just being more honest. And I kind of feel like, based on what we know about Phil Spencer, I think he's just being more honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. A few things I thought were also interesting in this. He talks about how the adoption of streaming versus traditional consoles, and basically likens it to Netflix. Like, Netflix had the DVD model for a while, and it took them a little while before they weaned off of DVDs and did streaming exclusively. And he thinks that it's not going to be an overnight process to go into streaming, but it's going to take a few years. Not as long as Netflix, but it's going to take a few years. Just good. What's the term I'm looking for?
Yeah.
I'm totally blanking the term I'm looking for. But you get the point.
Yeah. I'm great for discussion on this one. Just offering a few yeahs here. No, I think this is all just information we already know. Streaming is not going to come change the game overnight. It's going to take a while.
One thing that is new, though, is he's saying there's not going to be a streaming-only box.
Right. They want your phone to be the streaming thing. Like, when you're not playing on your Xbox, you're playing on your phone. That's the thing. And that's kind of how I want it.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Obviously.
But then they had their Inside Xbox at Gamescom.
It was 2 hours long, Holden.
I skipped over so much of it.
I ended up just reading the press release on Xbox.com and then watching a couple of trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call out a few things that I think are from it that excited me or that are worth mentioning.
Starting with Gears Pop.
Coming in just a few days. Free on iOS and Android and Windows 10. And cross-save across all of those platforms. So if you start on one, then you can pick up on the other. Xbox Game Pass. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to actually turn on my Xbox for something other than watching a 4K Blu-ray. And I'm going to play games on Xbox Game Pass. I've been paying for it. I've been paying the $1 a month for the last 2 months because they had that promotion. Now they have a $2 a month for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And I'm just going to fucking do it. You know why? Because Blair Witch is coming to it day and date on August 30th. And that's a game that I was curious about, but not really going to spend money on. But I'm going to play it.
You just dug your own grave, because this is what I'm going to do now. Because I've been debating, and he said this, and go, why know what? He's not going to have to pay for the game, so you really can't get upset about it. You got to play Metro Exodus this year, because I really want to know what your opinion is, considering you hated the first one. And I think they made enough changes to make it maybe worthwhile, and I want to know what your opinion on it is.
All right. Let me know when you finish Spider-Man, and I'll start Metro Exodus.
No, we both have to finish it by the end of the year. That's the agreement. We each get one game
No,
per
the
year,
thing is you play the game when I tell you to play it. It's not you have the rest of 1,000 generations to play it.
I am playing it.
It wasn't on what you played this week.
It wasn't.
It wasn't on last week.
Because I'm telling you, I'm not going to talk about it until I'm ready to talk about it.
Oh, pulled in Michael DePardo. But something else, my number 2 game of the year right now, Devil May Cry 5, available on Xbox and PC. Mm-hmm. Here's the other thing that's going to be, it's already getting confusing. When they list these games now on Xbox.com, they list them as Blair Witch, parentheses, Xbox Game Pass for console, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Xbox Game Pass for PC. And they have those delineations for each one. And then you get to, like, Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is PC only on Game Pass, and they list it as Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Xbox Game Pass for PC. And it's getting super confusing to figure out what's on what. And they have a messaging problem now. But I'm excited that the program exists. So
why would they have Ultimate as a distinguisher? If it's on Xbox console or PC, it's part of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
I guess because those two services are also available standalone. So
I guess, but it should be assumed that if you have Ultimate, you have both. So just say PC and console.
It is technically a different service.
That seems like it'd be easier.
It is technically a different service. So it does seem easier, but I guess it's not 100% accurate. So anyway, that's what's confusing for me. But yeah, lots of great games out there. Ape Out, I've also been looking at Ape Out and been like, maybe I want to try that game, but I don't want to pay for it because I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. Boom, Xbox Game Pass. Also, Ashen, still never got around to Ashen. Jesus. And then Gears 5 is coming. And I tweeted him out, but the coward hasn't fucking responded. Asa Gray, I'm looking at you. Friday and Saturday, September 6th and 7th. Let's fucking just marathon through that game together on Xbox Game Pass. Let's do it. I'm calling you out,
and you won
bro.
him over by calling him a coward. He totally won him over.
Fucking respond, you
I
coward.
guess I will. You called me. I'll be a coward otherwise.
He tweeted. He's like, the more I see of Gears 5, the more I want to play it. And, they showed a story trailer. Oh, we'll talk about this later. But anyway, yeah. They also showed off new controllers. Again, a camo one and a sexy blue one. I am real into that blue one. But again, not going to buy it. Not going to buy it. I already don't play my Xbox at all. I already have 2 controllers. I have that sexy-ass Sea of Thieves one. I don't need a 3rd controller for my no friends that'll play in real life with me. And then the Surge 2. Surge 2 showed a 4-minute, should have been a tutorial in-game instead of a trailer. And just made me really excited for the Surge 2. It reminded me all of the reasons why I love it. And I can't fucking wait. September 24th. It's already gone gold, which means technically I could break in somewhere and steal it.
The dog was telling you, don't do it.
No, Thumper was telling me.
Don't do it.
Do it! Do it, you coward! That's what he was saying.
Yeah, it looks very much like a just revamped version of the Surge. Just in a new location. It looks like a giant DLC, basically.
Yeah, and I'm 100% on board.
Oh, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with
100%.
that. They also showed off Metro Exodus DLC, the 2 kernels. I hate the word kernels, by the way. You're talking about how you hate the word mocha.
Colonel.
It looks nothing like the word kernels at all.
There's a lot of military words like that. Lieutenant. Why do you have 3 vowels after the L? Come on.
But like kernels, there's not even a fucking R in there. Doesn't make any sense. And it drives me more nuts because I was more familiar with the term kernel, Kernal, which is like a computer science term.
I thought it was
which
Kernel.
Actually makes more sense. Is it NEL or NAL?
I know NEL is the corn, but also I thought it was the coding thing. Yeah, it's EL.
It is EL, you're right.
Well, now you look like a fucking idiot.
No, because kernel with an AL is the Commodore's name for the ROM resident operating system core and its 8-bit home computers.
That's the one you were referring to. Yeah.
That's totally the one I was referring to. And actually, there are some dictionaries that... Oh, I went like, there's a dictionary that actually lists kernel as AL. Then it says noun, common misspelling for kernel EL. That's funny. Yeah, I thought that this event went on far longer than it had to. Most of what I skipped over, honestly, was just the announcers were so obnoxious. They were awful. Oh, my God. Nice people. I bet they're very, very nice people.
What a
Didn't
mensch.
like them as personalities on the game conference.
They
Let's
did
move on
announce
to Sony.
XO19 though, coming in November. That's their fan event.
Oh yeah,
and they're gonna have lots of stuff to show off there too.
good for them. Sony has some big stuff. Let's start with a smaller story first. We already mentioned the bigger story, but whatever. Sony multi-platform games are possible from Sony Studios, says Sean Layden. This is going from PlayStation Lifestyle, Chandler Wood. Quote, this is really the only quote in the entire article, everything else is speculation. We must support the PlayStation platform. That is non-negotiable. That said, you will see in the future some titles coming out of my collection of studios, which may need to lean into a wider installed base.
That
Could
I
just be
feel like
PC.
we've mentioned this when we were talking about them wanting to buy some established studios to add to their portfolio, which we'll talk about in the second story.
Yeah.
And we kind of speculated what would a multiplayer game look like? Do you think they would buy some, because they don't really have big multiplayer games in their arsenal? And then we're like, wait a minute, you can't really do multiplayer games and have a huge install base with a console exclusive, no crossplay and that kind of stuff. And this kind of answers that question. It's like, we could expand out to PC.
Yeah, it could be in PC. I was also thinking, like, what if they did say, hey, we're going to make this game. It's actually available on every system, but you get way better perks and stuff for being on PlayStation. Like, you might get everything is going to be coming to, like, all skins and stuff like that are going to come to PlayStation first.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of be like the PlayStation first model.
That's just, that's Call of Duty right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of PUBG, also they announced it in the Inside Xbox thing, is also now getting crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation. The walls
Good
are
for
tumbling
them.
down, and the walls come tumbling down.
But in bigger news, Sony bought Insomniac. That
They
came from Jason
did?
Schreier at Kotaku.
They did. And all the Twitter love from all the Insomniac employees and the Sony employees, and then from the other Sony worldwide studios, was so much good stuff to look at. I loved it. It made me smile.
I think this makes sense because it's not going to be much of a transition for Insomniac at all. Outside of their Oculus titles and their single Xbox title, Sunset Overdrive, it's basically all been PlayStation.
You know what's really interesting is that I felt like part of the conversation when they stopped making Resistance, was that they moved to. They didn't become first party Sony because they wanted to make games for IP that they owned, which is why they went and then did Sunset Overdrive, and they own the IP to Sunset Overdrive, but Microsoft paid to publish it, I believe.
Yeah, but it didn't really do them any good, I don't think.
Yeah, it didn't really do them any good. But what I wonder if that means then Sunset Overdrive could come to PlayStation, since it's an IP that Insomniac owns, and then now they're like, oh, just kidding, you're gonna make Marvel IP, and then you're gonna continue to make Marvel IP, and then whatever else is probably gonna be owned by Sony. I don't know, or maybe they have some kind of thing in their contract where they still own the IP, but they're just like Sony's bitch. I don't know. I'm so excited.
Maybe they'll make more Ratchet and Clank games. Who knows?
Yeah, they already have such a history with PlayStation. It feels right. It's like they're coming home.
It does feel right.
It's like when you're Amish and you spend all of your life up until you're like 20 living the Amish life, and then you're allowed to have that, like, whatever the year is that you're supposed to spend out in the world, and then just come back and have those experiences doing drugs and having sex and drinking Coca-Cola, and then you come back and realize the Amish way is the right way. This is how I feel like that is.
It would be as if, like, Nintendo officially bought the Pokemon Company.
No.
It would totally be like that.
No, Pokemon Company's always been exclusive to Nintendo, so not like
but
that
it
at all.
Makes sense because they're already at home there.
I mean, they're at home,
That's my
but
point.
it's not exactly like that. It's more like the Amish thing and the Coca-Cola.
It's
and the drugs. But speaking of
Coca-Cola is
Nintendo,
synonymous with Coca-Cola and drugs.
yeah, it used to have cocaine in it. That's what
I'm
the
actually
Coca
saying with
means
the
in
Amish, is what I meant to
Coca-Cola. And the Amish
I meant
people
to say
famously
Coca-Cola
can't drink caffeine. And when you think caffeine, after coffee, you think Coca-Cola.
That is actually true. For me, at
Quest Log. New FCC filings suggest that SNES games are coming to the Switch soon. Imran.com tells us from Nintendo. Game Informer.
From
Yeah.
Game Informer.
Not from Nintendo,
yeah.
from Game Informer. There's a leaked FCC filing for a new wireless controller that shows the back of it, and it looks suspiciously like an SNES controller. Ooh, could this be for the SNES online entertainment system Nintendo Online service? I hope so.
Maybe. I hope so too. One notable thing is that the NES kind of Joy-Con controllers, not really Joy-Con controllers, but they connect the same way as the Joy-Con controllers to the Switch Charge.
The rail system
is not present. Is not on. What is it called?
The rail system.
The rail system. This doesn't have the rail system built into it. So either they just realized that was a bad design, we're not going to do that again.
Yeah, because when you disconnect those controllers, they look
really
like
stupid.
shit off the top of it.
Yeah. Or just they charge differently. But I just feel like it's time.
They have to charge differently because the SNES controller has shoulder buttons. You can't have a rail with shoulder buttons unless you do the shitty Joy-Con thing, and then it doesn't really replicate.
Unless they do the rail on the bottom instead.
Gross.
And still have a little gap between like where the little like nubs in the bottom are. Anyway, yeah, I think it's about time. They need to have SNES games in there. They talked a lot about bolstering the Nintendo Online service, Nintendo Switch Online service, and this is a way to do it. It's not the ideal way to do it, but it is a way to do it.
Yep.
And I'm more excited about playing SNES games anyway. I really want to see Super Metroid and Links to the Past and Super Mario.
You know, I've got all those on my SNES Classic. Give me Lufia.
I want to play them on my Switch.
Give me Lufia, motherfuckers. Give me the Lord of the Rings game based off the books. Give me those SNES games.
I doubt that'll come.
Give me Super Star Wars.
I'd like to see some of the old Final Fantasy games come. I would play those.
There
Final Fantasy 3.
That many
I would do that.
on SNES.
Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 5, Final Fantasy 6.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
That's all right. If we know anything from Nintendo, they won't give us what we want. So you definitely won't get all of those. Maybe won't.
It's
get
gonna
any.
start with like Punch Out or something like that, and it'd be like or Super Punch Out. It's like, yeah, someone likes that, but I don't care.
Typhon. I'm gonna bite your ear. Come over here. Let me nibble along your ear.
Here's an interesting story. Nintendo is offering
hold on.
For,
we're gonna do. We're about to do 2 truths and a lie. Tell us which one is the truth and which is the lie. Continue. Read the stories.
Oh, okay.
Some of the stories are true, some of the stories are lies.
Nintendo is offering trade-ins for old Switch models bought on or after July 17th in the USA. This is from Alistar Wong at Silicon Era. So with proof of purchase, Nintendo will directly replace your older Switch model with the newer model that has the better battery life and all that stuff. This is currently only Nintendo of America that's making the offer. Save data will not transfer over, and you'll have to... You'll basically be asked what kind of Joy-Cons you want, the gray or the red and blue Joy-Cons. And the whole process takes about a week to a week and a half. Later on, from Eric Van Allen, US Gamer, Nintendo says there is no Switch exchange program. So statement from Nintendo, we do not have a Nintendo Switch exchange program. We always wanted players to enjoy their Nintendo Switch systems. And if anything ever gets in the way of that, we encourage them to visit http://support.nintendo.com for support or contact our customer support team. However, this is not a Nintendo statement. This is me saying, however. That'd be hilarious to have said however at the end of that. However, Reddit used to be able to confirm this happened. US Gamer was able to confirm that this happens. CNET was able to confirm this happens. And Polygon was able to confirm this happens. So, one of these is a lie. As Chad put it. I think they just don't want this to be...
They don't want it to turn into a whole thing.
Super public. Yeah, they don't turn it into a whole thing. But if you call them and be like, hey, I just bought... They're going to be sympathetic to you because it's within the return date anyway. And
it's
they're going
like
to help you with it.
When you go buy a pair of pants at Old Navy, and then that weekend those pants go on sale at Old Navy. You can bring your receipt in, and they'll give you the price difference back onto your card. But they're not going to advertise, everyone come back and bring your pants in, and we'll give you the money back. No, they're not going to advertise that.
That's a really good way of putting it. Basically, usually it's a 14-day return policy at most stores. They extended it to about a month. That's really what this is.
Yep.
And
it was really the day that it was announced. The day that the new one with the better battery life was announced.
Yeah, you also have to be kind of dumb to be like, hey, they just announced a new Switch. They said it's not coming out till August. I'm going to get it right now.
Also, It is in their best interest.
Some people don't know. Some people don't know.
It's in their best interest to have the ones with the unhackable CPU in them.
Oh,
because that's part of it. Like part of the new thing was they upgraded the CPU not only to make it more efficient, but also to get rid of that security flaw. So like it's in their best interest to get as many of those older ones out there as possible.
I hadn't considered that, Chad. You're so smart.
I know.
That chicken really helped you. I know that you're not smart anyways, but you're just like super, super smart now.
Spinach is a superfood!
I can't even imagine if you had an avocado in that salad. Your brain would be exploding right now.
Dude, I threw away 3 avocados yesterday because I bought them all like 3 days before I went to Seattle, and then I forgot to eat them before I went to Seattle. Came home, they were soupy.
That's not good.
Soupy poopy. Speaking of soupy and poopy...
We were both about to say that. I'm like, I'll let Chad say it.
The Nintendo Indie World event was also this morning at fucking 6 a.m. on my commute to work. I was like, oh, look, there's stuff popping off on Wario 64 Land. Yes, there's this thing going on. There were a bunch of indie games. There's Indie World, a bunch of stuff coming to Nintendo. Some things that we've already seen before, some things that were new. I don't want to go through all of it because if we talk about all of it, chances are no one else has heard of it or they saw it and they don't remember it because they're indie games, and that's just unfortunately the way of the world. But there are 4 in here that I think are worth mentioning, that I wanted to mention personally. Eastward.
I want to put all of these except for one of them. So
great. Eastward
for 2 of them
is looks super beautiful. It is a really nice art style that kind of reminds me of a mix between anime and Earthbound and watercolor. That's kind of like all of those mixed together is kind of what this looks like. But here's the thing. It leans, I think, a little too hard into anime to make me interested in it. I'm conflicted. Also, the fact that the main character seems to be attacking mostly with a frying pan, not 100% into that. I'm okay if like your main weapon is not the frying pan.
Because in Earthbound, when they did that same thing, lame.
But listen, you also had baseball bats and yo-yos and all this kind of stuff, and then you had actual weapons and magic.
And maybe in this game you do too. You don't know
exactly. I don't know. Princess Peach.
You're prejudging this game pretty hard.
Princess
right now,
Peach's super weapon in Super Mario RPG was the frying pan, and it was fucking dope. And then you get her the turtle shell armor, and then she is a fucking tank. And she heals and revives people, and that's how you beat Smithy real fucking easy, because Peach will never die, and she's just always there healing everybody else up. But the turtle shell armor is a secret hidden one you gotta find. Next up, Torchlight 2. I haven't heard of Torchlight since like 20 years ago. Not 20 years ago, a long-ass time ago. It's a Diablo clone, basically. It's one of 3 Steam games that I own. And I played it on PC a long-ass time ago. But I'm really excited to see that that's coming to Switch as well. So Torchlight 2. And then Earth Knight is another one that they showed off today. It's a dragon. You wrote a dragon-based platformer. I don't know if I would call it that. But it's one with a ton of dragons. It has a really cool art style.
You're literally doing platforming levels on top of dragons. That's why I said that.
I don't know if you call it dragon-based, though. It's a platformer. It looks cool. Depending on what reviews say, I'm interested in that one.
I also sort of dragon-based platformer just to make it easy to remember what it was.
Nice. And then, of course, the coup d'etat. Coup de grace. Cooties. Girls have cooties. Ori and the Blind Forest. Coming to Switch September 27th. That's yet another Microsoft-published game coming to Switch. Very excited to see that. No mention of whether Ori 2 will be coming to Switch. Although I can't imagine that it won't. If Cuphead and its DLC are both coming, I would imagine Ori and its sequel are coming.
Unless it just can't run on it, but I kind of doubt that, to be honest.
I doubt it.
I also think that they might just have it be timed exclusive on Xbox for a while before they bring it over. Because Cuphead and this game are coming out quite a whiles after they originally came out on the Xbox's consoles. I'm just excited that Superhot's coming to Switch. That's a great get.
And it's
much better than Stadia.
And for anyone out there who doesn't know, if you've played Superhot VR, this is not entirely different, but it is a different game than the VR version. So
yes.
Different challenges, different levels. So pick them both up.
And there was one other game I wanted to mention as well.
Maybe you should have bolded it. Cat Quest 2? Steven Duchman, I know, is like fucking jizzing in his eyeballs.
Super pumped about it. The Tourist. This game has a really cool art style. It's basically like 3D 8-bit.
I don't remember looking at the Taurus. It's spelled with a Y, though. That is unique.
Very unique. That's what makes the game special. Looks cool. Has a cool art style. Puzzle-based, though, so you probably won't like it.
Oh, fuck puzzles. Why do indie games always got to be about puzzles? I would play a lot more indie games if there weren't so many puzzles in them. You know what doesn't have puzzles, which means I'm probably going to play it? Gears 5. Welcome to our main quest. Gamescom's first official press conference live event called... What was it called? You didn't write the name of it.
Opening Night Live. Opening Night. Yeah.
Opening Night Live.
Sounds very similar to Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Hosted by
This is called Saturday Night Live for the rest of this.
Jeff Keighley, who is famous for the Game Awards, hosted this, got publishers from all over the globe and the industry to show up all sorts of cool shit, and I was surprised. I was surprised by how much new stuff we saw and how much, like, this felt like maybe 3/4 of an E3's worth of announcements that we got today.
Yeah. How much did you have to take away from the Game Awards in a few months to make all these announcements?
Right. Yeah.
Probably not.
How anemic is the Game Awards lineup going to be now this year? What I thought was really great was they showed off for, I think, the first time, a story trailer for Gears 5. I showed that off here instead of inside Xbox.
No, it wasn't the first story trailer they showed off. They showed off more story trailers than anything else.
Oh, you're right. The very first trailer we saw was What's-Her-Face being all conflicted. And, you're right. But they showed another one. Again, interested. Again, Asa, stop being a fucking coward and respond to my tweet. Let's play this game. Xbox Game Pass. There are there's three players.
Did you just call him Asus?
No, Asa.
I thought you said Asus.
I said Asa, stop being a coward.
Oh, I just missed
one thing. Oh, wait.
Our connection's breaking up a lot this time.
Asa Gray liked my tweet 9 minutes ago and responded and said, I would absolutely Bing it. Is that a Microsoft thing? I'll absolutely Bing it.
Yeah,
but I'll be in DC for a funeral that weekend. Oh, well, now I feel bad. Well, there are 3-player co-op allowed in this one, which is something new. You can play as Jack. So if there's another lifelong friend out there who has Game Pass and wants to play on September 6th and 7th, hit me up. Because everyone knows after the 7th, that next week is reserved for Borderlands. Yes! World premiere. There were a lot of weird drone and helicopter games, and I'm like, who flies this much? No one likes flying. Need for Speed Heat was there, and everyone was like, guess what? More Need for Speed, but now there's a phone app, and you can get it today. Great.
I just want to comment on this event. I got really kind of confused, or not. At first, I was confused when they do world premiere to start off the trailer, and then world premiere to end the trailer.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice that.
That was
wait,
strange.
am I about to see another world premiere, or was that world premiere in reference to the previous world premiere that we just saw?
It was especially confusing because the first time they did it was when they showed Comanche. Yeah, Comanche, world premiere, and they say world premiere DCL, the drone flying game. I'm like, oh, this must just be like more of that same game.
I thought they were the same until I saw your notes here.
Yeah, they're not.
Great.
That's why it was kind of confusing. But they did world premiere Kerbal Space Program too. I've never played Kerbal Space Program, but that trailer was delightful.
I don't remember that trailer. I watched all of these things like out the corner of my eye while I was working.
Who were building all the space stations and stuff on the planets.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end, one of the space stations starts to collapse, and I laughed. It was really humorical.
Nah. Get out. Another one that this is not a world premiere. Maybe it was world premiere gameplay trailer. Predator Hunting Grounds. This one is coming from the studio that did Friday the 13th, the game, which we will be playing Tuesday night, tonight. If you're listening to this, day one. Day, if you're not listening, what are you doing with your life? So if we like that, I'm sure we're gonna like this. Can't wait.
It does look pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't have high hopes when I heard about it, and now I'm like, actually, that could be really fun. Going on, they do Borderlands 3 stuff. If you want to talk about that for a little bit.
No, I'm just ready to play Borderlands 3.
All right,
I'm ready.
I
am.
You highlighted
my
Witcher
legs
3
open
on
and
Switch.
willing.
I'm actually surprised that you highlighted that one.
Yeah, I highlighted Witcher 3 on Switch because it looks bad. It looks like graphically not just a downgrade. it looks bad.
Notice that they don't ever really show characters talking that often.
And the one time they did, the guy was like, the lips were not even like, you were questioning, was that the guy who was just talking? Was he supposed to be the guy who was talking?
Did they not layer the audio properly? It wasn't matching with his mouth? Like, yeah.
I was considering, like, if I ever play this game, I guess this is the way I want to play it, where I can just on the go constantly be chipping away at it. But I don't want to play it if it looks like that.
The draw distance was still really good.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be if everything looks like Legos.
It wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. But it
we
looked
decided
like,
to bring The Witcher to Switch. Lego, The Witcher 3.
it looked like a really fucking good PS2 game. Like
It wasn't that bad.
No,
It
like
looks
Metal
like-
Gear
it looks
Solid
like a
Snake
PS3
Eater
game.
No, like Snake Eater. It looked like Snake Eater.
No, it didn't look that bad.
It did. Snake Eater
I
actually
think
looked
you
pretty
need to
good.
go back and see what PS2 games look like versus PS3 games. It looked like a PS3 game.
I think your mom. But here's a game.
You love saying that.
we talked about that, constant lore of Destiny. Disintegration might be that thing for me. This was a game that was shown off for the first time from the co-creators of Halo, coming in 2020. It was playable at Gamescom, so I can't wait to see reactions, but it looked hardcore like Destiny and Anthem, like a clone of those, except for it had like a rideable vehicle that you could shoot shit from, it looked like.
I think in art style, yes. I think the gameplay looks very different.
It does look a little different, but as long as you look like a cool Guardian, I guess that's really all that matters. But
It's just the looks that matter.
PvE and PvP, and it's a small team of people. I think they said like 30 people or something like that are developing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really interested. I'm going to keep my eye on that one. Coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC.
You highlighted Guilt, which, by the way, thank you for correcting my spelling. I spelled Guilt properly in a dictionary, but they spelled it for some reason GYLT.
Yeah, it's 2019, Holden. Language evolves.
This is from Tequila Works. It's a Stadia exclusive. Wonder why it wasn't at the Stadia Connect event. It was at Gamescom instead.
Probably a politics.
That was
politics, man. Jeff Keighley.
Right.
Jeff Keighley's got some blackmail on Tequila Works. Tequila Works has like they're ambitious. They're an ambitious studio, but they don't have like the greatest track record. They have a passable. They've done Rhyme. They did what was the other game they did? I can't remember. But so I'm
Rhyme.
I'm curious about Guilt. But I'm not going to play it on Stadia, so I guess I could fucking forget about it.
I need to see if they made a game that I liked a lot. I mean, I think that they made this game. They might not have, though. Nope, they didn't at all.
Great. Now, here's a thing. Here's a thing that I'm going to go buy right now. Not right now, but as soon as we end this, or tomorrow or something like that. But I'm going to buy it. Erica, an interactive thriller. This comes from, I forget the name of the studio, but it's a studio that was formed in 2016. I actually read up on the game because it was so interesting. It's an interactive thriller. It is all live action, and you're interacting with it. It was actually surprisingly announced as a PlayLink game years ago. That's the collection of games from PlayStation where you play with your phone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's no longer advertised that way. But they have a patent for a new method of interaction called touch something. Fuck, I forget it. But it's a completely new way with interacting with the game, and it's more than just like it. They were talking about how it's a lot more than just Bandersnatch Netflix style, where you choose dialogue and something happens based on what you chose. That it's actually a lot more interactive. So I'm super intrigued by it. I'm gonna buy it because it's $10. So fucking what is money? That's a banana. But the acting didn't look great. So I have a feeling that I'm not.
Either the whole thing didn't look great.
I'm mostly intrigued by the technology behind it and how it plays out. I wasn't necessarily interested in the story or the acting or the cinematography, but
So you're not going to enjoy it.
I probably won't enjoy it, but I'm curious about the technology. That's what it is.
Okay. Another one I'm very curious you highlighted here, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I just wanted to call out PlayStation fucking rules. There's an alpha coming just for PlayStation people. 2v2 alpha on PS4 coming.
That makes more sense. Okay, let's get to the real meat of this.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about meat.
Death Stranding.
Let's talk about how I'm maybe not interested in playing this game anymore.
Yeah, I had the same thought. And I had the same thought. I'm like, Chad's not going to play this. Wanna why? Here's my guess.
Why?
It looks like Breath of the Wild in terms of running around and exploring.
Boring as fuck.
It looks... I mean, I'm not saying that Breath of the Wild looks boring to me, but this game does look really boring. Like, oh boy, I can't wait to shake my controller to make sure a baby doesn't cry.
But don't shake the baby too much. I can't wait.
Baby too much.
They're like, hey, let's show off some new gameplay. I would love to see gameplay. Cool. How about we show ladders again? Do you remember when we showed you ladders last time and how much you loved ladders? Let's show you how to do ladders again. And then you're going to walk off of a cliff after peeing. We're going to show you how to pee for 15 seconds of this thing.
Which apparently is actually an important game mechanic where if multiple players pee in the same spot, something will happen. Wow.
Ooh.
I've never heard of a game mechanic that made me go, that sounds so stupid.
This was after showing off two character trailers for two different characters, Mama and Deadman. Those were both after there was a trailer for Kojima.
Yes.
Jeff Keighley's like, yo, I'm going to suck his dick a little bit more. I'm going to show you a trailer for Kojima. And then after all this, Kojima shows off a trailer for Jeff Keighley. Because Jeff Keighley's in the game. Oh my God.
His voice, though, just his likeness.
Right. It's just like Guillermo del Toro, where it's his likeness, not his voice.
Yeah. But the difference, though, is that I don't really... Like, Guillermo del Toro is not known for his voice. Jeff Keighley is like is a personality. It's his likeness, his voice. Yeah. Like, it's all the thing. So when you see like someone who looks like him but doesn't sound like him, it's like, oh. But like for most people, they might see Guillermo del Toro in this and go, oh, I guess that's what Guillermo del Toro sounds like, because they don't really know what he sounds like. So it's really weird hearing Jeff Keighley speak and it not be Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Also, just stark difference between how I'm going to assume something I shouldn't be assuming. I think Jeff Keighley likes Kojima a lot more than Kojima likes Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley makes this whole kiss-ass sucking, Kojima's dick trailer thing, just about how amazing Kojima is, how much everyone loves him. He's the most humble man he's ever met. He's such an ethical person. And then Kojima's like, yeah, I want to put you in this to be a dumb hologram of my boring game. You're welcome.
And your name is like Legion fan. You're a fan of Legion. Like... Yeah.
No, I'm sure they really have a good friendship. I don't know, but it was just kind of funny, the difference with that.
It's interesting that Jeff Keighley is one of just many, many apparently cameos that we'll see, including Sakurai is confirmed to be in it, the creative Smash Bros. Edgar Wright got scanned in, and he's going to be in the game somewhere, the movie director. So
they had a Twitter... Well, we need to go through Kojima's Twitter and just see every single celebrity he's taken a picture with. Because remember, that's been a thing, is he just shows this off to random celebrities. I bet the creator, the head of Guerrilla Games, is going to be one of them.
Yep.
Because he went there and played the game for like 2 hours. Yeah. Emma
that's
Stone,
the thing.
yeah.
Yep. And everyone he's ever interacted with.
But it's like, is that really a reason to play a game?
There's going to be a 2-hour segment where your character just sits there and watches La La Land. On a tiny TV,
I wouldn't doubt
in
it.
The game on your TV.
the
La La Land's fucking
demo...
great. Don't get me wrong, but this game, I don't know. I'm not pre-ordering it. That's for sure. But I have to see reviews.
I'll say this: if they just showed off that gameplay initially and just said, "Hey, this is what the game is," I don't think it'd be a big deal. But they've been hyping it for years, being like, "What's this game? It's such a mystery. It's a game genre you've never seen before. Games that include ladders,
social media. You're
babies.
Already playing the game."
I'm really so. I'll say this: Darby of Nerds at Large.
Yep,
you were right. He made this thing. Why are people so hyped about this game? We don't even know what it is. And he was right. We kind of seen what the game is now. And it doesn't look that great. We are going to get more gameplay at Tokyo Game Show. Notice Kojima said this before he even showed off this gameplay demo. It's like Jeff Keighley begged me to show something. I'm showing something. But the real gameplay is going to be at Tokyo Game Show. Hopefully that's better. But I also got no sense of how is this a different genre of game?
I don't know.
What is there about this that was like it just seems like it's an exploration game where
it's
you have
Animal
to carry
Crossing.
a baby around with you.
It's realistic
because...
Animal Crossing.
No,
You're just doing meaningless tasks,
right? Remember?
and peeing and trying to survive as a homeless person in a world.
That was really, really funny. Where they said you can't see Norman Reedus's wee because they keep like moving the camera every time you go to or he turns every time you turn the camera to see it. I thought it was kind of funny, and they awkwardly brought up on stage and for all those really big Norman Reedus fans out there, you won't be upset when you see it. I'm like, well, that's awkward for Norman Reedus.
Yep, they did confirm
think of
on
some
Twitter
fans
though
that
you don't see his penis anytime in the game.
Yeah, but I think it was just a funny thing to say because there's some fangirls out there who would like to see Norman Reedus' penis, but to say, thank God you're not going to see it, it's like, well, to see like a really ugly penis or something that you accurately recreated in the game, I don't know. This whole thing was really weird, and they spent a half hour on it.
Yeah.
It was too much. And everything we've seen, it just seems like it's a bunch of weird characters. Every character seems to be strange for, like, whatever reason, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what the game is yet. Mama, who breastfeeds and she invisibly breastfeeds an invisible baby.
Because it's trapped in the other dimension. She can't leave that area, because the baby is in that area in the other dimension.
Yeah. This is just... Yeah. I'm glad that you feel the same way that I do, because I was worried for a second that I'm just like, am I just not understanding this? And this just doesn't seem right at all.
Nope.
Glad we're on the same page. I will be getting Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order now. Much more blah. Let me rephrase all that. That came out all wrong. I was really concerned that I was going to have to choose between Death Stranding and Jedi Fallen Order. And now I have no concern at all. I'm definitely getting Jedi Fallen Order. Definitely.
Burp. Stinky burper. Unless we find out it's a Game of the Year contender, in which case you might have to play it. Who knows?
It will be, no matter how weird it is.
Who knows?
Just because it's Kojima. Because Jeff Keighley's going to be like, hey guys, I know that no one voted for Death Stranding for Game of the Year, but I'm in love with Kojima, so we're going to put it on Game of the Year.
Awards, so...
No, I don't think he's corrupt. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It was a joke, everybody.
So that's it for the, what did we call it? The opening night live at Gamescom.
Opening night live, yeah.
I was really impressed and surprised by how much there actually was. And it made me kind of realize that, like, we might just be... You know how every year it feels like there's more and more games, and there's too much to play and too many games. And I think we might be at a point where we can support big events like this every couple of months. Like we have E3, and then we have this, and then we have Game Awards, and then we have something coming out in the February.
Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, Paris Games Week. We have all of these different things. I think this might
February
just be regular.
is when PS5 is going to get detailed. That's when that stuff happens.
That's what 4chan says.
But it would make sense.
We're going to move on to Game On Game Show. The game on our gaming show called Game On. The game show we play a game on a game show, and it's game. This week we have Video Game Would You Rather. It's late as fuck, so we're going to truncate it to 3. We've got 3 of them. One of them is Death Stranding related. Let's not start with that one. Number 1. Would you rather upgrade your clothes in real life like you would upgrade armor in a JRPG? That means you wear the same thing until you find something that's better than what you're wearing, and then you switch it out to that until you find something better. Or would you rather that everyone wore armor instead of traditional clothing?
No, definitely the first one. I've actually thought about this. Like, I'd love just to have, like, the outfit that I wear. Like Steve Jobs. He just always wears that. He got the highest level armor he could possibly get, and it was a black tank top and jeans and white
It was a turtleneck,
Nikes.
not a tank top.
Oh, turtleneck.
That's a very different Steve Jobs.
That would be hysterical, though. He's got the chest hair popping out. his skinny arms. Like, that'd be hysterical.
But here's the thing. It's not the same look. You are literally wearing the same piece of clothing until you find a better piece of clothing.
Oh, so it'd be smelly.
It would be
gross.
smelly. I watched the Peanut Butter Falcon, and Shia LaBeouf is wearing literally the same clothes throughout the entire thing, despite working really hard and getting fish and going in the ocean and getting drunk on a beach. And it's like, You probably smell like the worst fucking homeless person I've ever smelled in my entire life.
But wouldn't your armor smell too? Because it's going to get hot.
You're going to get hot and sweaty. It doesn't breathe unless you get quilted armor, but then it's not effective.
And here's the thing is, I want to move back to Chicago after I'm done with school. And thinking about being on the CTA with a bunch of people who are in armor and the train's like rocking about and everyone's armor is clinking against each other, that'd get really annoying.
Well, see, armor can be quilted, it can be leather, it can be chainmail, it can be plate armor. It doesn't all have to be like giant suits of armor.
I was thinking suits of armor. That's what I was thinking.
Nah, think like Game of Thrones. There are so many different varied types of armor.
I'm gonna go with wearing the same clothes all the time because that armor is gonna start, whether it's leather or whatever, it's gonna start smelling really bad, especially if it's leather actually. And eventually, like, you'll get used to the smell. You just will. And if everyone has to do this
question's really all about smell. That's it.
It is all about smell. You'll get used to it eventually. And if you don't, you can just get one of those like nose plugs that you like. If you're a kid, you don't know how to blow a nose out of your water. When you go underwater, you get a little nose plug. You can just get one of those all the time.
All right.
And you just be wearing clothing as opposed to looking like Robert Baratheon and asking for more wine all the time.
I'm gonna go with armor because in both cases you're gonna smell. Both of them. You're going to smell. And people look cool in armor. It's not practical.
I'd prefer wearing like a t-shirt or like a button-up or something.
You're going to look like the town fucking jester while everyone else is wearing armor. Next question. Would you rather...
Oh, well.
Everyone that you care about, one by one, got replaced by Fire Emblem characters.
One by one?
Yep.
Like over time?
Yep. Over time, they just... became Fire Emblem characters. Not they started to look like them, but your mom disappears and a Fire Emblem character just shows up and pisses you off. Or...
Okay, I already don't like this.
Or would you rather have to play a Fire Emblem game, but instead of characters, it's the people you care about playing the game? This includes permadeath.
Permadeath.
Yep. And they're not skilled like the warriors of Fire Emblem.
So it's not even like you could be strategic and win. It would be like they're dead.
Unless you were like really, really good at Fire Emblem somehow.
Here's the thing. When do I have to play the game? Could it be like 3 years after the game comes out and there are some amazing guides online of how to beat everything? In which case, those people can lose their families and struggle to learn how to make it so that not everyone else has to lose their families. And I would be in that latter half who's like, you figure it out. I'm going to keep my mom alive because I'm not having my mom die or replaced by a Fire Emblem character. Not going to happen. So I will choose the latter option, wait 3 to 4, maybe 5 years for the best guide to come out, and then I'll play it and make it so no one dies.
All right.
I also think that in the latter option, we could sue the hell out of Nintendo for making a game that literally kills people.
I think I would go with the first option because you don't know when it's coming, and it's one by one, so you still have time with your loved ones. But then, Fire Emblem characters are the family you choose. You can learn to love them. You can choose to love them as much as, if not maybe more, than your family. There you go.
Yeah. No.
Last question for the
still
night.
Be my family.
Would you rather... This one's complex. Get ready. Would you rather have to play Death Stranding naked in a glass tube filled with petroleum jelly strapped to Norman Reedus' chest and beat the game? Play it to completion. So basically, you're the baby.
Okay.
Or would you rather have to play Luigi's Mansion 3, but every time you beat a floor of the hotel, how many floors of the hotel are there?
17.
Every time you beat a floor of the hotel, you have to watch Disney's Haunted Mansion, starring Eddie Murphy, while sitting next to Eddie Murphy the whole time.
You want to what? I'll take the latter option because I think eventually, like, even Eddie Murphy would be fed up as hell with having to watch the movie, and we would end up making an amazing podcast just doing commentary of us talking over the Haunted Mansion, and then afterwards you could celebrate by playing another level of Luigi's Mansion. That sounds like a great option. That's not even a choice. I do a podcast with Eddie Murphy, which is in addition to what you said, but it's part of my reality of this and how it would play out.
I honestly don't feel like meeting Eddie Murphy in real life, I don't think would be fun for me. I just like, dude, you were great 25 years ago, but like, I don't know, it's going to be awkward, any conversation we would have.
But here's the thing, have you seen Funny People? He probably knows it and is like, would comment on it.
Yeah. I would choose that option mostly because, while petroleum jelly would probably make your skin super moist and you would look great.
And you'd suffocate in that
you're going to be strapped,
petroleum jelly.
But you're going to be strapped to Norman Reedus' chest. And honestly, the dude looks like he probably smells. I mean, he's got that like thin, greasy hair. He's always like unkempt, wearing loose-fitting clothing. The dude, like, honestly, I look at him and I'm like, you probably smell bad. And I don't want to be strapped to his chest for the entirety of Death Stranding. We don't know how long Death Stranding is. How many times do you have to pee in that game?
Here's how you know that he probably smells bad. When he was on The Walking Dead, he just came on set and they're like, all right, you're all set, Norman. Just get out there.
You don't have to do any hair and makeup.
None at all. Just keep your wearing on as well. It's perfect.
Yeah, so I would choose Eddie Murphy as well, even though I'm not looking forward to Luigi's Mansion 3. That's it, everybody, for Game On Game Show, and that is it for our show. Thank you for listening. We have two things to ask of you. One, go out there and vote if you are a patron for our BARF Game of the Month. It's Doom right now, but what is it next month? We need your help, and it's a 3-way tie. Whoa! So go out there, become a patron, and vote, or if you are one of those 3 patrons that I won't call out by name, but maybe I'll send you a DM later, go vote. And then secondly,
they'll all 3 vote for one of the 3 games, and it's still a tie.
If they do, then I'm going to subscribe myself. Also, hey, just go to patreon.com/respawnNameFire and become a patron in general, because not only do you get to vote on what we play each month, but you also get to play along with us. Again, we're playing Friday the 13th, the game this week. You also get really cool wallpapers that I'm currently rocking on my iPad and my phone and my Mac and my other whatever. I got another phone. I got another Mac, and there it is.
There.
Yeah, you can see
it's
the do not disturb
because of
on
the
yours,
notification. Yeah. It's the bedtime notification because it's way past my bedtime right now.
Pro tip: if you subscribe right now, you get all the wallpapers from all the months. Boom, Shaka Khan. That's it, everybody. We love you so much. Listen to me lick the microphone. That's it. That's how we end the show tonight.